Every year, New Hanover County residents throw away an enormous amount of trash. From coffee grounds to broken toys, collectively we throw away about 258,000 tons of trash every year. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Well, for many people that's the case. But for many others, those who care about the environment, and those who care about what shaped the environment is in for future generations, trash is never out of sight, out of mind. Let's follow the bouncing ball through our trash stream. Located in southeastern North Carolina, the New Hanover County Department of Environmental Management oversees the state's most advanced, integrated, solid waste disposal system. Through our waste-to-energy facility, recycling, and modern landfilling techniques, New Hanover County minimizes the use of valuable and finite land resources while maximizing the potential for a greener environment in the future. Remember the bouncing ball tossed away after its use came to an abrupt end? Well, that ball and everything else that found its way into the trash carts and dumpsters around New Hanover County never really goes away. In a landfill, that ball would still be with us in thousands of years. But because of the integrated disposal system employed by New Hanover County, that ball will not take up valuable landfill space. Instead, the ball has been taken to WASTEC, where it and the thousands of tons of other household and commercial trash will end up today. As many as 100 garbage trucks pass through the automated gate system each day. The automated system weighs each truckload before being taken inside the plant.
It's mandatory that we screen 10% of the trucks, and we screen them for lead acid batteries, aluminum cans, antifreeze, and white goods like refrigerators and those type of things. And so if we take 10% of our trucks, we actually dump the load on the floor. We have one of our employees actually goes through the trash checking for these items.
WASTEC was constructed in the early 1980s when New Hanover County had nowhere else to take its trash. Prohibited from taking it out of the county and dumping it in someone else's landfill, few options were left available. At that time, it was apparent that putting trash into a hole in the ground was not the best solution. Voters were asked to approve a bond referendum to construct a refuse-fired steam plant. It was apparent voters agreed a new landfill in itself was not an answer. They approved the referendum by a 13-to-1 margin.
Here in New Hanover County, each individual is responsible for generating about 1.6 tons per year. That includes all the trash that comes from commercial accounts and industrial accounts, construction accounts. But if you take the population and divide it into the number of tons that's generated here in New Hanover County, it's about 1.6 tons per person per year.
How much has that grown over the last 10 years?
The waste stream has actually doubled in New Hanover County in the last 10 years. We're up to about 265,000 tons per year.
By the late 1980s, the plant was doubled in size. Voters again supported a bond referendum to pay for the expansion. The latest technologies were included to ensure the safest possible air pollution controls. With WASTEC, the county is reducing the total amount of trash being landfilled while generating valuable electricity. Enough electricity, in fact, to power a small city.
Okay, our capacity is 10 megawatts, and if we have all units operating, both generators operating, we can come close to generating that amount of electricity, usually between 9 and 10 megawatts at any one time. We power ourselves up first, and what we don't use, we put on the grid with CP&L. In the month of March, we actually sold more than 3,100 megawatt hours of electricity, which would come out to powering approximately 3,100 homes. Our annual revenues from electrical sales runs around $1.5 million.
Now do you remember our bouncing ball? Surely nothing is left of it. After all, heat melts rubber, plastic burns too. That bouncing ball has now been turned into a mix of gases which rise up the smokestack and into the air.
You didn't see any smoke out the stack. That's because we have baghouses that take that out. And so that's what that far left one is. And this is probably one of the more critical ones. It's the continuous emission monitoring system. It's our monitoring of our pollutants. It doesn't affect how the plant operates, but we have to make sure that we're within the regulations as far as the levels of pollutants that go out the stack.
Municipal waste combustion is probably, or not probably, it is the most controlled of the power producers, with the exception of nuclear. We have much more equipment, pollution-wise, pollution control-wise, than the coal-burning plants. We have the acid gas scrubbers, we have the nitrous oxide controls, we have the filter fabric or bag houses. Most of the coal-burning plants still have the technology that we installed back in '84.
What little is left of our bouncing rubber ball after going through the incineration process is just a minute amount of ash. The ash piles up at the WASTEC plant and is trucked away with the ash from as much as 500 tons of trash burned today. It's taken to the New Hanover County landfill, where it becomes daily cover for the trash that hasn't gone into the incinerator and turned into electricity.
The trend back in the late '80s was to build waste energy facilities. That trend has kind of disappeared in the '90s because of the cheap landfills that are being constructed. I think we're going to see a return to waste energy to reduce our dependency on foreign oil. It does preserve resources in that by burning the trash, we don't have to burn an equivalent of fossil fuel to produce that same amount of electricity. We're seeing a lot of green energy now. We see this as also as a form of recycling. We're taking the energy and the waste that would have gone into a landfill that would be left for our children and grandchildren and even great-grandchildren to deal with. We're taking care of our problems now. We're reducing the amount of space used in the landfill. We're not leaving a problem for our future generations.
The use of WASTEC reduces the volume of trash by about 85%. Each landfill cell costs about $1 million per acre to develop. The cell is expected to last about 2 years. Even after the collection, the sorting, the burning, and the landfilling, a rubber ball is still bouncing through the waste stream. To help minimize the landfill's effects on area water quality, New Hanover County is required to treat the runoff, or leachate, from the landfill. We do this in 2 ways. A traditional sewage treatment plant collects and treats the rainwater and other liquids found in the waste stream before it's discharged into the northeast Cape Fear River. However, New Hanover County, once again, is in the forefront of environmental resource protection through the use of wetlands. Constructed wetlands have been shown effective in removing a series of pollutants. After studying wetlands' ability to filter landfill leachate through a number of pilot wetland projects, New Hanover County Environmental Management is building a 5-acre wetland area. This project will continue straining the leachate far after the entire 150-acre landfill itself is filled and closed. The constructed wetlands project has already earned the attention of environmental officials nationally and internationally. While New Hanover County's Environmental Management Department works to protect the environment in which we live, it's up to all of us to work towards reducing the amount of waste that makes its way through WASTEC and the landfill. Take this test to see whether your household is helping reduce our reliance on incineration and landfilling. If you answered E, congratulations and thanks. To learn more about potential alternatives to waste disposal, visit these websites.